There's a reason why some men leave a woman thinking about them for days while authors are forgotten before the conversation even ends. It's not about being the best-looking guy in the room. It's not about showing off your confidence, your money, or even your charm. It's about knowing how to plant the right emotion in her mind at the exact moment when she least expects it, and most needs to feel it, because the female mind isn't wired to respond to logic or surface-level flattery. It responds to emotional weights, timing, and subtle tension, the kind that lingers long after Rove left the room. And here's the truth. Most men never figure out you can say all the right things. Compliment her looks, ask about her day, talk about your goals, but none of it will matter if Shadow Scent feels something deeper, something she can't explain but can't shake. That's what these 7 words do. They don't just compliment her, they tap into her sense of feminine identity. They bypass her defenses and whisper directly into her emotional memory. The part of her thought replays your voice at midnight, wandering. If you meant more than you say them the right way at the right time, and she'll hear your voice while brushing her hair, while lying in bed, while scrolling through her phone, pretending not to care but wondering why her heart races when she thinks of yobikas with just one sentence. Yoga from just another guy to the man she can't stop thinking about. So if you're reddered of being forgettable, if you're reddered on trying too hard, and if you're redito, create instant lasting emotional impact. Without chasing or playing game stand, this video will show you the exact 7 words that make a woman feel seen, special, and quietly obsessed with y'all long after the conversation ends. Let's begin. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a conversation with a woman where everything felt fine on the surface, but deep down you knew she wasn't feeling you the way you wanted? Smiled. She laughed. She replied, but let her there was nothing, no message, no follow-up, no interest, and you thought to yourself, what did I miss? But her rest, brutal truth, no one tells you women didn't remember you for how nice you were, Thee. Remember you for how you made them feel when the words stopped. When the room went quiet, when the energy between you shifted and something landed inside her chest. Not because it was loud, but because it was true. That's what this video is about, because there's a tiny window when a woman drops her guard, and in that moment, if you say something ordinary, she forgets you boutif. You say the right thing, the right 7 word shell. Be lying in bed later, scrolling her phone, staring at the ceiling, asking herself, why can't I stop thinking about them? It's not about being clever, it's not about being alpha, and it's definite lino about using pickup tricks. This is about emotional precision. It's about understanding female psychology on a deeper level, the part of her that no man ever really reaches because they're too busy trying to impress rather than connect you. See, most guys talk to women the way they'd pitch a product, selling them's, listing achievements, try and toe stand out, but women aren't looking for presentation. She looking for moments that feel real, moments that break through the noise in their world and speak to that unspoken, vulnerable part of themselves they usually hide from everyone else. That's why these 7 words matter, because you know when said calmly and nonchalantly, the need for validation or outcome, they don't just sound good, they feel dangerous in the best possible way. They make her feel seen, not for her looks, not for her body, but for her essence. They stir something ancient in her, a craving to be understood, to beckon, to be emotionally penetrate without being exposed. And once you touch that space in her, she can't unfeel itch, might act cool, she might pretend Shadow Scent care, but in the back of her mind she's replaying your voice, your tone, through your eyes didn't flinch when you said those words. That's the power you hold when you learn how to speak to a woman's emotional core. So in this video, going to hand you the exact 7 word phrase that does this, but not just that. I'm going to break down why it works, the psychological triggers it activates, and exactly when to use it for maximum impact. And here's the beautiful part. This isn't about manipulation. This is about truth, because the most powerful words don't control her. They set her free to feel something she didn't know she was waiting for. So if you're tired of being forgettable life, you're done watching other guys who say less but get more, if you're ready to understand the actual science of emotional impression, then stay with Mebkuz. By the end of this video, you'll want just know what to say. You'll know how to leave her thinking about you all night long. Let's begin. It's just 7 words, but in the world of female psychology, where emotion trumps logic and subtlety means Everything these words hit. Like thunder behind a whisper, they don't impress her. They haunt Herond. That's the difference between what average men say and what you're about town. Stand Bess. Here's what most guys completely miss. Women don't fall for you in themament. They fall for you after themament, when they're alone in silence, Anthe. Can't stop rewinding something you say, not because it was clever but because it stirred. Something ancient inside them. Something unspoken, emotion-aligned, deeply feminine now. Let's go. Beyond the phrase itself, let's dissect this one line layer by layer and understand how to make it a permanent emotional imprint tone. It interrupts her emotional pattern. Most women go through life being noticed at for all the wrong things. Her looks, her smile, her body, her status, but deep inside what she craves is too recognized for something she can't even explain herself. You say, I haven't met anyone quite like you. You trigger her most powerful emotional question. What exactly does Hessian mean? And that question doesn't have a quick answer. So it loops in her subconscious. It sits quietly with her ass. He's doing other things, and that's how you stay with her when she's in bed, in the shower, out with friends here. They're not physically but emotionally. Because that phrase didn't just compliment her, it unsettled her emotionally in a beautiful way. To it plants emotional curiosity. You didn't say you're beautiful, you didn't say I like you, you didn't sigh you're smart, you said something incomplete, a mything that forces her to wonder. Haven't met anyone quite like you, and no, she's asking why, what made him say it did. Reveal something. Was it how he lawed? Was it something in my energy thoughts? The genius of this line, it starts a story. In her mind, a story that she has to finish, and the more she finishes, the more she fills in the blanks with you. Your face, your tone, your vibe, your presence. This is how obsession begins, not through logic, but through emotional mystery. It shows depth without desperation. Most guys either oversell or underplay. Oversell, you're amazing, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen, I can't stop thinking about you. Underplay, coolness, you're chill. But this line, I haven't met anyone quite like you, it walks the perfect masculine middle line. It says I notice something real in you. But it also says I'm grounded enough to just say it once and let you sit with it. That balance of presence and restraint is intoxicating to a woman who's used to man trying too hard or not trying at all for it. Echoes in her emotional memoir science backs this up. We remember emotions far longer than facts. We forget what people say, but we remember how they made us feel. Of you say this sentence with emotional steadiness, eye contact, and a moment off pause afterward, you will literally create an emotional echo in her nervous system. A week later, she won't remember your jokes, she won't remember what shirt you were wearing, but she will remember the quiet feeling she had when you said that, and she'll think he saw something in method others don't. That moment, that impression, that is what sticks. 5. It makes you feel like a mirror, not a salesman. Women don't want to feel sold to. They want to feel understood by a man who has the courage to say it but doesn't need anything in return, and thoughts the energy behind this phrase. Aoer, not begging, you're not validate, endure, simply holding up a mirror and sighing, there's something rare here. I see it, I respect it, and that's enough. When you give that energy, she begins to crave it, because now you're the space where she feels most like herself, and it's a woman associates you with that feeling. She will never forget you. That perfect moment to say it. Timing isn't everything, don't use this too early, and never say it when you're trying to impress. Use it when she's relaxed, when the conversation is turned just a little deeper, when she reveals something personal, a childhood story, a quirky habit, a fear, a dream, a wound. That's when you lock eyes, pause, and calmly say, I haven't met anyone quite like you. Anthon, say nothing, let it breathe. That pause, that's where she begins to feel you. Not as a guy who's hitting on her bot, as a man who sees past her walls and still stays. What happens next? She smile. Able look away, she might deflect or brush it off. But when the night ends, when she's alone, that phrase replays again. She'll think of it in silence. She'll wonder why it hit so hard, and she'll feel you again. It's just as a memory, but as an emotion, and that, my friend, is what makes her think about you all night long. So now you know it's not the pickup line. It's not the compliment. It's not some flash of rused tactic. It's the emotion behind your words, the stillness in your delivery, and the calm confidence, a carry that makes a woman stop, pause, and feel. Something she can't explain, you've all just learned. The 7 words that work not because they're magic, but because the reveals something rare. A man who speaks with clarity, honesty, and intention, not to impress, but to connect him, that's exactly what leaves a permanent mark, so the next time you're talking to her when the moment feels right. When she lets down her guard, even for a second, don't try to be impressive present, be still, and say, I haven't met anyone quite like you. Then let her feel the weight of your silence, because when a man knows his worth, he doesn't chase attention, he becomes the experience. She can't stop thinking about it. If you want more phrases, insights, and deep psychological cues that Mosman completely miss, make sure you hit that subscribe button, tap the bell so you don't miss future videos. Give this video a like if it opened your eyes. Toho, attraction really works, and drop a comment below. Let me know if you've ever said something that left a woman silent and why you think it worked. This is Stoic Paradox, where ancient wisdom meets modern masculine power, and will help you lead with clarity, speak with purpose, and attract with presence. Until next time, stay calm, stay grounded, and never underestimate the quiet words that tecto the loudest.